Hey there, it's Jennie Wallach with the Wallach Group here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Thanks so much for tuning in once again for an amazing time together talking with Ryan Allen about some agent success secrets. And I know she's got some good ones for us. And Ryan, we have met in person just one time, but I know we've been social media friends for a really long time. So for those who don't know you at all, tell them who you are and what you do. And then I can't wait to chat with you today.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Jenny, for having me. So, a little backstory. I've been in the real estate industry for 10 years now, as of a couple weeks ago. Started as an admin to a single agent, and I've actually been in every seat of a seventh level team over the years.
Wow.
Owned a transaction coordination company. Finally found my passion and my calling in coaching and helping build up other agents in this industry and other humans. And so I became a coach with MAPS Coaching 7 years ago and have loved just pouring into other people. And I always say that my favorite clients are the ones that don't know that they are amazing yet. And I get to be in the passenger seat when they figure it out. And that's my absolute favorite thing.
I love it. And I didn't mention your most recent role is the president of the 10-year letter. And if people haven't been paying attention, I don't know where they've been, but this is a pretty impactful movement. Now, I'm blessed that I had a coach for many years that is also friends with your coach, Craig Zuber, who kind of started all of this. And so I know you guys have a big purpose when it comes to sharing this 10-year letter. So just tell us all about what that looks like and what's the plan there.
Yeah. So, about 15 years ago, I would say, 14 years ago, Craig actually wrote a letter to himself 10 years into the future. And it didn't start out as anything, there was no framework around it. He actually found himself at the lowest point in his life and a point of surrender where he had to figure out what was next.
Mhm.
And so he went through this process of writing himself a letter into the future. Flash forward 10 years, he's having his home packed up, and someone that was packing up their home and organizing comes down the stairs and says, "You did it." And he said, "Wait, what did I do?" And she said, I apologize. I've been going through all of your things, pictures your kids have drawn, all of your achievements, and I read this letter and you did it. And so at that time, it was 2021, the world was opening up again, and they brought a group of people into Austin and said, maybe this is something we can walk them through. So over the years, he started sharing it with people, and I was one of those fortunate enough to be tasked with writing a letter to myself into the future. And what was different about that is we were on a Zoom meeting with other coaches, and he said, "Oh, Ryan, you did it. Would you read it for the group?" And I felt a big lump in my throat and I swallowed that down and I read my letter. I turned red, my chest was red, my ears were red. And after I read that, I got off of the call and I said, that did something different to me. Right? I've never heard anybody stand up and read a GPS and have an emotional response to it. And it was because it was vulnerable and it's actually what I wanted my life to look like. So I started sharing it with clients and other people, again, without any framework. And Craig and I said, this needs to be something. We need to be able to impact more humans, which is both of our missions, with a framework that makes it a paint by number. And they write a letter to themselves a decade into the future, how old their kids are, where they're living, what their life feels like. And it's done something really interesting because a lot of people have realized that real estate isn't a part of their identity. It's the vehicle
Yeah.
to get them where they want to go and who they intend to become. And so, as we've built out this workshop, which you can come and attend and go through the workbook and the paint by number to get your letter, the lives that have been changed intentionally out of that workshop is enormous. I mean, we've had people from throwing away their alarm clocks and getting in relationships, getting out of relationships, coming into the industry, truly doing less better. It also feeds my purpose because I also get to be in the passenger seat and watch all of these transformations happen after they get really, really clear.
The whole idea is kind of simple, but the result is life changing.
Absolutely.
And so as you've gone through this, you yourself have seen the impact and the results, and I know others as well. I mean, where do you see this going and growing for you, for Craig, for the world?
Yeah. So the book is actually being published. So you could buy it on Amazon and work through it yourself. You can attend a workshop and really get the depth around all of it. You can hear all the stories. You get to hear my story. So my letter, when it comes to my identity and who I am, actually became an anchor for me in the hardest spot I've ever been in my entire life. And that letter illustrates who I intend to be and who I am at my core. And with that circumstance, it was somebody that doesn't give up, somebody that doesn't quit. And my letter became what I was fighting for. And so, with sharing that with other people, yes, you can buy the book, you can attend a workshop, but honestly, it's to impact people's lives, as many people as we possibly can, because we get to see those shifts happen and the clarity step into there, and we get to watch the results of getting that clarity and making those changes. And so, we actually have an online workshop. We can schedule an in-person workshop. Those are my favorite. And then we're also recording the on demand. So if you don't have 6 hours to spend and sit there and work through all of the framework, you can do it at your own pace online. And we have other people that are wanting to teach it and share it. And what I love about it is it's agnostic, right? It's not just real estate related. So whether it's a church or an organization, I did it for a manufacturing company. I think there's a lot of people that are on autopilot and a little lost without purpose. And so I think anybody can write their own 10-year letter.
So with the letter writing and the frameworks that the workshop and the book will share, I can imagine it's a lot of just visualization and prompts that
Hmm.
that get you, set to think that far into the future, which for some that are
Really hard.
really of a mature age, that gets really kind of scary, to be honest. And this is great, and I love all of that. And then doesn't there need to be some form of action or accountability inside of it? What does that piece look like?
Yeah. So the action has been really interesting because we were challenged to answer the question of we know it works, but why does it work? Why is this different? And so the research was done to figure out the neuroscience piece to it. And so answering the difference in action and accountability, the action actually happens naturally because your letter pulls you. So, in going through the prompts and explicitly illustrating what your true vision is, what it feels like, what it smells like, the environment that you're in, how it's impacting you emotionally, your brain actually encodes it as being real.
Wow.
So just like a dream, and I tell people, if you were to look back over the past years of your life, the memories that you have are tied to an emotion, right? Whether good or bad, the things you remember because they were tied to an emotion. So we're doing that just in reverse. We're doing that with the future. So your brain says this is real, and it actually pulls you toward it. So the action piece around it happens naturally
Yeah.
because it reminds you of what you're actually fighting for. Now, the accountability piece, the most impactful stage of writing your letter is actually reading it out loud to somebody and having that emotional response that goes back to pulling you forward. And so we encourage people to always read their letters out loud, whether in the workshop or to a loved one or to a partner. But we add an extra layer in there, and I send them their letters once a year for the next 10 years.
Oh,
So
yes.
even if you wanted to forget it, you're not going to because I'm going to remind you.
That is such a great way to make sure that we don't forget what we said was important to us in our
Mhm.
future with our family. And you're right, Ryan. I mean, most of us that are here are probably in the real estate industry of some form. And if you've done this long enough, you know that life is more than just the transactions and the families that you serve. It's about the relationships that you build and who you become through your lifetime. And so just to kind of wrap up here, coming from your coaching hat with real estate in today's world, there's a lot of change. I'm sure you're experiencing that with your clients. And so how does this 10-year letter help tie in with keeping our minds right through challenging times?
Yeah. I think it makes the challenges worth it,
Uh,
right? If I were to look back in my past, the biggest lessons I learned weren't when it was all clean and pretty and tied in a bow. It was when it got really messy and it got really hard.
yeah.
And at that point in time, had I had something to tether to, something that I was fighting for, something that meant a great deal to me, it doesn't make the hard times or the market or the uncertainty or building a team or shrinking a team, it doesn't make it easier. It just makes it worth it.
Uh,
And so when people realize that real estate is one of the best vehicles to get you to from point A to point B, and it's not who you are, it's just what you do and the vehicle that gets you there, you got to be really clear where there is, or you'll get swept up in real estate or being an agent, becoming part of your identity, and you get in what's called the doom loop. Right? It's that autopilot, the wash, rinse, repeat of the industry, and it can do that.
Well, while we're on this, let's sit here for a second because I am hearing from many agent friends across the country, it's tough. It's
Mhm.
a lot of agents, if they're in the business for shorter than 5 years of their life so far, they're having to learn new things they've never had to do. And so, with that, those that are struggling or feeling that bit of burnout, does this tie in with it? And then also in your coaching arena as well, what is your advice right now with that?
Yeah. So I would differentiate tired and burnout because you're going to get tired. I think you only get burnt out when you're not hitting the goals that you intended to do or you're not clear on it, right? You can get tired. If you're tired, take a nap, take a break, and get back at it. But get really crystal clear on what you're actually working for and working toward and how great of a vehicle it can be. And again, it doesn't make it not hard. It is hard. It's hard in this market. It's hard in this environment. It's hard geographically, depending on where you are. That's not going to go away. You can't change it no matter how much you want to. But what you can change is the lens in which you look at the hard, right? It's hard and
Yeah.
it's worth it and it's for a greater purpose.
Or maybe it's not, and this just isn't your profession.
Exactly.
I mean, we have to be real.
Mhm.
It's not for everyone. But with you and agreeing with you with my 25 years of doing this, I've learned that the times I was burnt out or having a breakdown was when I wasn't clear on where I wanted to go. And
Mhm.
this 10-year letter is what can help you see what it will look like for you. And
Yeah.
like you said, pull you forward into it. So,
We talk about at the end of the workshop, a section in there is called basically what you need for the trip, and it's willingness, belief, and faith.
yeah.
Right. And the willingness, I think, is the first domino there, so to speak, because yeah, if you figure out, hey, this is what this industry requires to be a really successful vehicle, are you willing to do it or are you not willing to do it?
Yeah.
And I think even the clarity of saying, hey, I'm not willing to do it is bold and is can be really impactful to your overall life if you just say, hey, this isn't for me.
Yeah.
Fantastic. What is?
Let's go find it.
Yep.
Yeah, it's all about taking action. I am super excited for all that you guys are doing. The impact will be enormous. How can people, again, best find you, best find how to learn more about the 10-year letter and all your workshops?
Yep, absolutely. So you can find us on social media, 10-year letter, my personal one, Ryan Allen. And then our website is 10yearletter.com. It's 1010. It's not spelled out. It's pretty simple.
You have made it easy for us to learn more and engage, and I'm super excited that I got to learn with you today, and also so that others can maybe, take this journey and have the future mapped out for them that they've
It's
decided.
my favorite thing.
I
Thank
can
you.
tell, I can tell you're so passionate about it. Thanks, Ryan. I can't wait to see you
A
soon.
pleasure. Thank you.